You're welcome back. While preparation by political parties ahead of next year's general election are in top gear, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) is expressing concern over the volume of unclaimed permanent voter cards (PVCs) in its custody 6 months to the 2019 elections. The Commission says about 7.5 million permanent voter cards (PVCs) are yet to be claimed. Politician Ikubese Thomas-Wilson joins us now for more on this. He's actually on Skype. You're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
All right, a consolidated PVC collection as at August 15, 2018 showed that Lagos State has the highest number of unclaimed PVCs with over 1 million. Now, Lagos was followed by Oyo, Edo, Osun, Ogun State, Imo, amongst other states, including the Federal Capital Territory and Ekiti State, having the highest numbers of uncollected PVCs. Now, what do you think is responsible for this?
Well, it's most unfortunate this is happening. If you look at the trend, you realize that most of the states that have the highest number of uncollected PVCs are states that have high level of literacy and education among the populated in those states. And why this is so is because the PVC collection is between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And at that time, people are busy in their places of work. Okay, so one would have expected that INEC would have made provision in such a way that people begin to collect PVC, say from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. instead of having to limit it to 9 a.m. to p.m. that people would be in their workplace. So these are some of the issues that we have because the time falls within the time that people are very busy in the time that they're working in their workplace.
Okay, but it is really a staggering figure. And like you said, INEC has the collection is between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. But what else can INEC do? Do you support the notion that INEC should have their offices open, especially on weekends, so Nigerians can be able to go collect their PVCs?
Now, talking about the things that INEC can do, quite a number of things. One, I want the federal government to do one thing, and that is declaring 1 or 2 days as public holidays. It sounds funny, but we need it at this point in time. 1 day or 2 days for people to go and collect their PVCs. And even those who haven't registered within 2 weeks of extra, you can also use that chance and do that. Now, the other thing that is important for INEC to do is the fact that we would need to have a situation where we will go on software. Now, look at the quantum of amount of money that INEC is targeting for the 2019 presidential election. Now, one of the campaign promises that I had is that we're going to have what I call the Niger card. The Niger card is a one-stop card that contains all of the data. Your PVC will be there, your ATM will be there, your all the data that you have, your BVN, everything will be in that single card. The implication of that is that when a child is born, you have that card right from the day of birth. When the child is up to 18 years, you just activate it on the system. And that child will be able to vote as an adult. So you don't need to go and start queuing up, to say that you want to begin to register for INEC registration, PVC card. Now, that's on the long run. But on the short run, what I believe that INEC should do right now, increase the time scope wherein people can go collect a PVC, preferably from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I also want to appeal to the federal government to declare a public holiday, 1 day or 2 days for people to go and collect their PVCs.
Okay, so if you're saying the government should declare 1 or 2 days for Nigerians to go collect their PVCs, do you think it's going to work? Because a lot of Nigerians at different points have complained about the fact that they take time off to go collect their PVCs and they get to INEC's office and it is not ready, or the INEC officials are not there. So if we have 1 or 2 days for that, do you think it's going to actually ensure Nigerians go collect their PVCs?
The reason why I'm advocating for a public holiday for the collection of PVC is because if you go to INEC offices, you realize that you have a long queue of people there. People are queuing up, the staff are few, the number of people that want to collect their PVCs are many, and you stay there from morning till evening, no attention, or very little attention. But the moment the federal government makes it a point of duty to institute 1 or 2 days as PVC collection day, all of the attention will be on INEC. So the idea of people going in the morning and Oh, your PVC is not here, we have a delay, the number of staff at INEC, they are too few. That would not be there because there would have been sensitization before the set date. So INEC will be prepared, people will be prepared. If we want to make a success of the 2019 presidential election, I believe that the federal government, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, should institute 1 or 2 days as public holiday for people to go collect their PVC, and also ensure that INEC lives up to the responsibility of meeting these demands, which I'm sure they will do once the attention and the focus is made on them on those 1 or 2 days.
All right, talking about sensitization, do you think the Commission is doing enough in terms of sensitization of prospective voters in order to encourage Nigerians to collect their PVCs?
Yeah, I think I'll give it to INEC. They're doing a lot in terms of sensitizing the people to go collect their PVC. But it's one thing to sensitize the people. It's another thing to actually be effective at the point of collection. INEC has shown that it's not very effective when it comes to the point of collection. Again, the other thing that we are having this reason for is the fact that you cannot vote where you have not registered. So you find most people, they come into a place where they're working, take just a few minutes off and go and register and come back and have their card. And on the day of election, they are disenfranchised because they live in a place where they cannot vote. Where they registered is close to their place of work, and where they are voting is supposed to be close to their house, and there's no movement on that day. So I think the INEC should begin to think high-tech. I was in your studio the other day, I was saying that we have a need to go fully high-tech. A situation where people can sit in the comfort of their homes and begin to vote on their phones, on their laptop. It is feasible. These things are very feasible. It is doable. If INEC takes it as a priority in a short period of time, election in Nigeria will be fun. We don't have to shut down all the roads, shut down all the streets, put policemen and soldiers everywhere because we are voting. It's a cake. INEC should be the thing high-tech, and people don't need to go queue. We can even vote over a couple of hours. We don't have to spend a whole day shut down the economy because we are voting. These are things I believe INEC should be thinking of, and even the federal government itself should mandate INEC. Sometimes people don't think until you give them a push and make them begin to behave the way they should behave.
Ikubese Thomas-Wilson, thank you very much for talking to us on this issue.
In fact, thank you.